Hello and welcome to the 12th round of the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. I'm Jack Morris and fighting tonight are... He don't need no fancy ass intro, Colors, and solid stick of flat out murder, Murdastick. Let's get to it. So, here we are, the final round of the second wave of rounds in the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. That is a lot of words just to introduce a round. This is Colors, a 4th Dan Black Belt, rank 3870, versus Murdastick, 7th Dan Black Belt, rank 8759. Desperately trying to find filler words for this first turn because there's nothing to talk about during it, as I've learned throughout this tournament. So we got some nice skins, I guess. We got a mohawk, which is always nice. Let's see what they're going to open with. Alright. Okay, so we've got Colors on the left here going for a fairly standard kick opener, doing something interesting with his right hand. We don't usually see them pull their right hand back, but oh well. And Murdastick going for a squat attack. It's a super duper squat attack. You may also notice that both myself and Murdastick have a moth tag. That's because we now have a Toribash clan. Talk about that later. So Murdastick has gone low and fractured, because I keep saying dislocated, but apparently it's fractured. Yeah, same thing. Fractured his right knee there, and appears to be grabbing his, I can't quite, his arm. He's got his arm there. I couldn't quite tell whether it was his leg or his arm. So, yeah, Murdastick's, although Colors it's hard to tell whose hands are who. Colors does have Murdastick's head there, I think. I can't quite get in there and tell. No, he did have it, but he appears to have let go. Murdastick definitely holding on to Colors' right. I keep forgetting names. Left elbow there. Let's see how they're going to follow this up. Murdastick with a very, very good balanced planted status on the floor there. Has he got his hand out? The reason I'm moving the camera so much right now is because I'm trying to get a good angle on it. We can see Murdastick grabbing Colors' foot there. That's going to definitely benefit him later on in the round, with Colors being unable to use that foot, because obviously Murdastick is holding it. It speaks for itself. And that fractured elbow is really going to hurt him later if he ever wants to try and pull Murdastick closer to him or push him away. Although his right arm is completely free and he can easily use that to balance should Murdastick try to spin him / turn him into the ground. As always, this is best of 5. 3 wins in a row will net the victor victory. Wow. Nice sentence structure there, Jack. We're all proud of you. Okay, Colors doing something rather interesting there. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is there. It's kind of hard to tell, but it could benefit him. He's in the air. He's also grabbing his own foot there, but oh well. I'm sure it's all part of the master plan. Murdastick with a sizable advantage here. He could easily just simply turn Colors out of the arena at this point, but we've seen stuff like this reversed in the past, so they're gonna follow it up with Colors kind of scrunched together in a ball. His legs looking a bit worse for wear too. Murdastick holding on to his, still grabbing his elbow for dear life, and he looks like he's probably going to grab his face there as well. Colors with what looks like no grip on anything. I can't find his other arm yet, so, well, we're about to find out. Okay, it's very much looking like Colors is going to go out. Even if you manage to manipulate Murdastick over him, he'd still tap out of the arena. It is going to take nothing short of a miracle for him to get out of this. I think it's safe to say this round is pretty decisive. I still can't quite tell where Colors is grabbed there. I'm looking right at it. It's right in front of me. He's grabbing the same hand that's grabbing him, which isn't really going to benefit him. And there we have it. Round 1 goes to Murdastick. 1-0 to Murdastick. It's very well played on Murdastick's part. I mean, Colors put up a pretty good fight there, but Murdastick was in command pretty much the entire match there. It's a very good opener. We've seen it a couple of times. The squat technique and going low does tend to benefit people. I mean, as soon as you can get underneath somebody, it's very, very easy to take a commanding lead early on in a round, and that can benefit you later. Just look at the fracture. The fracture, if you can fracture something, it helps, needless to say. Anyway, let's move on. If we can. There we go. Okay. I wonder if they're both going to go for the same openers. I mean, Colors, now being aware of Murdastick's squat technique, is probably either going to try and match it himself or go for a completely different opener that Murdastick won't be expecting. I imagine Murdastick's probably going to play it safe and stick to the opener that works. He's still got, now that he's got in the lead, he can take he can play it safe, because even if he loses a round, he'll still have a sizable advantage. Yes, he seems to have gone for a similar opener, although it is a little bit more twisted this time, whereas before it was, whereas in the first round it was front on, now it's tilted to the right or left, depending on where you're standing. Colors going for a similar opener that Murdastick went for in the first round. It seems he's gone for the mimic him strategy, which is not a dumb idea. It could work very well. Really not sure what Colors' strategy here is. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he was going for a lift, but I'd imagine he's probably not going to play it like that because the comment section would be ablaze. Murdastick appears to be going for another safe plant with his legs there, keeping his left leg high for whenever he may need it, and his right leg low to make sure he's not touching the ground, as standard. Okay, that is a dangerously close ankle right there. I'm not sure how the ankle is with disqualification, but he needs to be careful of it no matter what. He can't give Colors the opportunity to spike him into the ground. Colors with him looking much better this round than he was last time. He's got a lot of command over what he's doing. Both his legs are free, nothing's fractured. Both players' hands are now kind of screwed because they're grabbing each other. I doubt... wow. I ate those words as soon as I said them. I was about to say I doubt either player is going to let go, but, well, Murdastick definitely let go. But Colors is gripping to Murdastick's right hand. Definitely the smarter idea. Neither one of them wants to go end up flying out of the arena because they can't touch each other. Murdastick again playing it. Both players actually playing it safe with their legs. Both legs are in a good position. Well, okay, right, that is an interesting development. Colors karate kicking his way into Murdastick there. If he's going for that kick, that's going to hit hard, and he's still got his right leg free. Murdastick, I wouldn't want to say off balance, but they're definitely both in the air now, and that gives both players the advantage to turn that back around if they try hard enough, which I'm betting they can both do, both of them being black belts and all. Okay, Murdastick. Oh god, that will hurt him. He's fractured his left knee there. That is going to really hurt him later on in the round if Colors decides to let go, which I imagine he probably won't now that he knows he's got him at a disadvantage there. It would be very easy for him to just snap that knee into the ground. Colors obviously very open to manipulation here because he is not only upside down, but not only in the air, but also upside down. I guess both sentence structures there work. Is that a... Okay, we have a dismemberment. I think we have a dismemberment. Yes, we have a dismemberment. Murdastick has ripped off Colors' hand. That could be the decisive round there. All he has to do is get that hand out of the arena. I'm not crazy, right? That is definitely a dismember. Murdastick has ripped off Colors' left hand. Okay, that is go... Oh my god! Holy shit! In a shocking turn of events, it looks like Murdastick might have screwed himself there. Even though he had the dismember, I guess he might have got cocky there, and I don't know how he can get out of that. His head is going out. I mean, head obviously disqualifies in this. That was a incredible either reversal or just dumbfounded foolery on Murdastick's part there. I'm really not sure. It does look like that was, well, I really don't know what Colors did there. That was really impressive. I mean, I'll admit, with the dismember, I really thought the round was over, but then, well, it just goes to show that any amount of frames is enough to turn this around. So that's 1-1. Wow, okay, so we go into round 3. Finally, not a complete walkover. I'm very happy with this. Obviously, I gotta do maths on the fly now to work out who's gonna win, but, who can win with what score. I'm sure I'll just do it as it goes. So obviously, 2-2, if it goes to 2-2, then we go on to the 5th round. It's first person to 3 points, essentially. Yeah, okay, maths, not ever my strong point, so really should have written this down. I wonder how they're both going to play this now. I imagine Murdastick's going to be a lot more careful than he has been, especially after that kind of gaff in that round. Okay, he's gone for a much more standard kick attack now, which might not be the smartest move. I mean, Colors has proven he can reverse stuff if he tries. Although that not taking advantage of that dismember, I bet he's really kicking himself because of that. Still can't believe that last round ended up going to Colors. It really looked like Murdastick was going to pull that out. So it's still any man's game. Okay, we have Murdastick with a fractured right wrist there. Not the worst fracture you can have, but still, any fracture is a bad fracture. You never know when you might need that joint. You do not want to fracture anything, and the fact that anything is fractured is a problem. I wouldn't say either of them seems to be, I guess, going to plan right now. They both just seem to be countering each other's opener rather than working on their own. I wouldn't even say either player has an advantage here, except for Colors might have a slight lead because of the fracture on the wrist, but again, that's not really going to benefit him that much unless he's planning on ripping off his hand, I guess, which could be a nice turn of revenge for Colors, considering Murdastick did that to him in the last round. Apologies if I've been turning the camera too much in this tournament, by the way. A couple of people were complaining about that. I've been trying to be a bit better about it, but the reason I turn the camera so much is because I'm trying to find a good angle and make sure that I get every detail, such as fractures and stuff. But I apologize not English. I apologize if it's been making you guys feel a bit seasick or whatever, but here we are. I'll try and do it less, but I've got to do it enough that the round can work. Okay, so it looks like Murdastick's going for a, I guess, step away here. Yeah. Although he has spun back around, which I wasn't expecting. Colors, slightly off balance now, but that right leg is firmly planted. He is not going anywhere. Well, that thing's still on the ground, and Murdastick is sailing kind of merrily out of the arena right now. He's going to have to try hard to turn that back around, which he can do, but he needs to be aware of it, otherwise it's going to really, really hurt him. Not even late, it's going to hurt him right now if he doesn't reverse that correctly. which I'm not sure he's entirely done. His legs are now kind of a little bit close together. That's not going to provide a lot of purchase and a lot of balance, so I really don't know how he's going to he could easily pull this back around, but Colors seems to know what he's doing. I mean, he's now let go of the wrist and grabbed his head instead. I didn't even see him do that, which is really impressive. I really think Colors has a sizable advantage in this round. Murdastick with a dislocated lumbar. Is that the lumbar? I can't really tell what joint that is. It's either the lumbar or the... Well, that's the abs. That's the... oh, wait, no, it's a pec. That's a pec, right? Yeah, it's a pec. It's his left pec, I think. It's hard to tell. He's a bit scrunched. Colors still with a commanding lead, but Murdastick appears to have reversed that there. I would have said Colors was on the verge of pushing Murdastick out, but it really looks like Murdastick may have gone all or nothing with a kind of dive to throw Colors out. That's risky. Again, Colors does have command over Murdastick's left arm now that his pec's dislocated. He could easily just spike that into the ground and tap Murdastick out before Colors hits the ground, which he was not able to do, and this round goes to Murdastick. 2-1 Murdastick. This is match point. If Murdastick wins this, he wins the round. If Colors can pull this back, then we go into the 5th and final round, and this would be the first round in this wave to do that, which would be very impressive. Colors put up an admirable fight there, but I think it's safe to say he was off the ground far too much in that round, and that ended up screwing him over. He was able to be twisted and manipulated far, far too much. Let's see how they're both going to play this round. Now, knowing this is match point, Colors probably going to be on edge. He's probably going to be thinking about his opener a lot more. He's going to make sure he doesn't give Murdastick any kind of opportunity to grab vital organs or to dislocate, dismember, fracture, anything. He doesn't want to get hurt, and he really, really wants this. You can tell by the way he's giving it his all every round. Let's see how they're going to open this. Murdastick going for the opener that's worked ever so well for him throughout this tournament. Colors doing what we've seen in this tournament with the simple kind of clap attack and then counter what your opponent opens with. It's a very, very interesting opener. It's very risky because you give your opponent one turn to do whatever they want, but it does mean that you can then reverse and counter whatever they do, as I'm sure Colors is going to do. Really not sure what he's going for here, but this appears to be, well, almost working for him. But Murdastick does now have the opportunity to literally just throw him out if he's not careful, because he can extend both his knees, raise both his shoulders, and Murdastick's, Colors is going to be airborne very, very quickly. This could be a very defensive play on Colors'. No, wait, never mind. It looked like he was going defensive and just being very careful with his movements, but I think that might have been a double bluff. He's tricked Murdastick into getting a little bit off balance now, and he's going on the counter attack with what looks like is going to be either a kick, or he might just be readying his leg for future turns when he might need it. But if that was intentional, that was very, very intelligent to trick Murdastick into putting himself at a disadvantage there. I sincerely hope that was intentional. Murdastick really has to watch his right leg there, or that is going straight out. Colors may look twisted, but I have a feeling this is all part of his plan. Like I said, that opener was very, very clever if it was intentional. To put Murdastick into a position where he thought he'd be able to lift him very easily, and then to just reverse that was definitely a sign of intelligence. Murdastick going for a risky maneuver here. With both his legs off the ground and both his arms kind of spread like that, he's really not going to have any chance to catch himself. I assume he's going to try and spin Colors into the ground before he hits the ground, but that is a very, very risky maneuver, and I really don't know how this is going to pay off for him. His legs are still free, so he could still put his leg back down, but as you can see by the ghosts, he's really in a kind of an unstoppable twisting motion now, and I think this round is going to go to Colors. I mean, that foot is basically touching the ground. I think that's one frame from touching the ground there. I don't think Colors is anywhere near one frame. No, he's still in the arena. I think this round is going to go to Murdastick. That is the downside to risky maneuvers like that. There we are, 2-all. Final round and match point. This is the most possible rounds you can have in this wave. This is all or nothing for both players. They're both clearly very, very good fighters. I imagine they're both going to probably play this very, very safe now that they both know the other one is clearly intelligent. I mean, that does look, honest to God, that Colors' opener there really looked like that was intentional. I really do believe that, and I must say I'm very impressed by it. I imagine they're probably both going to go for very safe openers now, very basic openers, very defensive openers. That's going to be the key to this round, is playing it defensive, maybe even trying to go for points over anything else. But I imagine both these players, they both want it so bad, they're probably going to go on the offensive. Let's see what they go for. Colors going for the standard kick that I think he did in the very first round of this, where he's bringing his arm back, raising his leg. Murdastick going for a safer opener than he has gone. He's keeping his knees locked and just turning on his side, I guess, to embrace whatever Colors throws at him and in turn counter it, I imagine. Let's see how they follow this up. That is a missed grab on Murdastick's part there, although he has got a very, very good grapple on QgzL's legs there. I imagine he was trying to grab his chest, head, or hand, but as you could see when the turns happened, he completely missed that and grabbed his leg. That's probably a better outcome than he could hope for there. QgzL is going to be at a big disadvantage without his right leg, unless he can manage to turn this back around on Murdastick, which, if anybody can do it, is one of these two players. QgzL's hand there not grabbing, but if he did grab, he would have a big advantage over Murdastick there, because Murdastick would be pretty much at the whim of QgzL's shoulder muscles, because you could literally raise him and lower him at will because of where he's grabbing him. Grabbing him, of course, on the right hand. He has made the grab on the left upper thigh. QgzL with a very, very impressive grapple on Murdastick. Neither player looking like they're going to go out anytime soon, but QgzL definitely has a slight advantage now that he has a very good grapple, although Murdastick does look like he's going for a counter grapple himself, giving both players a very strong position to turn the other one out. Okay, Murdastick has pulled his hand back. He's playing this defense even more defensive than I thought. He is trying to keep his balance very desperately there, and he's doing a very, very, very good job of it. I mean, he's clearly thought ahead here and pulled himself out of the grapple to make sure that he still has command over his legs. He's released QgzL's leg, as happened in a turn, which I must have missed because I was fixated on other things. Dislocation right there. That's going to affect him very, very, not even later in the round. That's going to affect him now. Not having a shoulder can be disastrous, and the fact that it's the one that could be grabbing QgzL probably makes it even worse. He can still grab with that hand, but he needs to be careful he doesn't dismember it, because that's a deal breaker. If he dismembers something, that could be the end of the match. Murdastick dangerously close to the edge of the ring now, trying to turn QgzL's weight on himself. I imagine he's probably trying to turn him back over and just push him down, which is the smarter move when you're that close to the edge of the arena. Murdastick also has a fractured left glute or arse muscle, whatever you want to call it. Lot of fractures on Murdastick's part. He's definitely going to be feeling them. He's going to be worried. He's not going to know how to pull out of this. But okay, we now have some dismembers on QgzL. Sorry, not dismembers. We now have some fractures on QgzL. He's fractured his, I think that's the lumbar's lower down. I'm really not sure. I can't remember what that muscle's called. So we have 2 fractures on Murdastick and 1 on QgzL. Both players are definitely going to be feeling the burn of having those joints fractured, especially Murdastick with his shoulder. He's going to really wish he had that shoulder when he tries to plant QgzL into the ground, which is what he's been trying to do for the past couple of turns now. There are only 2 turns left in this. Can either player turn it back around? If it's going to go to points, it looks like QgzL has a lead, but Murdastick might looking like he's going for an attack there to just make up the points that he needs for the last turn. This is still any man's game, and this is so very close. Oh my god, I think QgzL, he's going to have a very hard job pulling that back. Murdastick might have pulled this back around. There is 1 turn left. If this goes to points, it's going to QgzL. If it goes to ring out, it's going to Murdastick. I really don't know who can pull this back around. QgzL is going to win if he doesn't ring out. Murdastick will win if he rings QgzL out. I don't know how this is going to go. Oh my god, there we have it. Murdastick has won. Goes to the ring out on the final turn of the final round. Jesus Christ, that was a good game. Murdastick wins and will advance to the next round. QgzL put up a hell of a fight, and no one, I say this every game, but I've never meant it more than now, no one can argue both players wanted this so bad, and both players fought so well. I'm Jack Morris from Man on Fire Films. Please check back soon for the semi-finals, and like, comment, subscribe, and favourite. Jesus Christ, that was a good round. I shall see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.